What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie298 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And we did it! Yeah, we did it! Yeah!
Dear God, it's beautiful.
Sony finally gave in after tremendous pressure from the gaming industry, from just about everybody on YouTube, all of its players, all of its fans, and just about everybody who owns a PlayStation who begged for crossplay. We finally have crossplay. So we'll see crossplay with not just PC as we already saw on some games, but I guess with Xbox and everything else. So they said in the blog post, following a comprehensive evaluation process, SIE has identified a path towards supporting cross-platform features for select third-party content. We recognize that PS4 players have been eagerly awaiting an update, and we appreciate the community's continued patience as we have navigated through this issue to find a solution. Now, I may be cynical. Oh, I know I'm cynical. I'm definitely cynical. But I will say that this is absolutely corporate double talk, especially when we saw someone from Sony Japan just last week saying that their platform was already the best place to play. They don't need crossplay. We don't need to encourage this kind of thing. The reality of it is it doesn't really matter. If they were doing it for cynical reasons or they were doing it because it was actually a network issue, the only thing that matters is every other company had been able to figure it out up till now. Now they finally figured it out. Maybe the engineers at Sony are just really, really bad at their jobs and not as good as the folks over at Nintendo. Wow, you have bad engineers if you're not as good as Nintendo. I would rather believe it was corporate doublespeak, honestly. The good news is, as of right now, as I'm writing this, you will be able to log in to your PlayStation and play Fortnite against people on Xbox and PC and the Nintendo Switch. We finally did it. All of the consoles are together as one, like a family, and I'm pretty happy about it because this is something we wanted for a really long time. And this is how I hope it stays. I truly believe that the ability to play against anybody on any platform is the way to go. Now, don't get me wrong, people with mouse and keyboard are going to probably stomp butt for a little while, but hey, that's okay. I need all the advantages I can get. But if you're one of the people that help apply a little bit of pressure to Sony via social media or by sharing one of these videos or watching one of these videos or just getting involved in any way, thank you for doing that. I think this is a big improvement. Now, let me know what you think in the comment section below, but I think the world is just going to be better off as long as we're all playing together. This week's gaming news video is brought to you by the folks over at Glasses USA, who gave me these really stylish sunglasses, and the prescription sunglasses too, and I've been wearing them all summer long. When you click on that link, you'll be able to start shopping for some of the best glasses I've ever owned. These are the glasses I wear in every single video, and you can get a pair of frames complete with lenses for as cheap as 47 bucks. And not only do they have hundreds of stylish frames to choose from, not only will they get shipped directly to your house, they have 24/7 customer support, and if you don't like your glasses for any reason, they give you a full money-back guarantee in the first 14 days. So there's a zero risk policy as well. The reason these are my favorite sponsors is because in the past, whenever I would go get glasses from an optometrist's office or even Walmart, I could spend $100, $200, $500 on a pair of glasses, and instead I can get them for a very inexpensive price, which allows me to get a huge variety of different frames. I have special glasses for Francis. I have my normal glasses that I wear every day. I have my prescription sunglasses, and it's so stupidly affordable. I think you're going to love it. If you like any of the glasses I've worn today, know that you can get them for a very inexpensive price. And if you click on the link in the description box below, they're going to give you a deep discount right now just for using that link. So you can start shopping for glasses right now. Click on the link and you can upload a photo of yourself and start trying on different lenses virtually until you find a pair that looks great on you and have them shipped to your front door. And if you do it, you'll be supporting me at the same time, and I hope you do. So here's a little bit of a follow-up to our standalone video about Telltale Games shutting down. We talked about why they shut down. We talked a little bit about the impact. But if you don't know, the folks who made The Walking Dead seasons 1, 2, 3, then the Michonne standalone, and then now the final season, season 4, they have shut the doors, and it was a complete surprise as of Friday. And they'd already sold copies of The Walking Dead and have now announced they will never be able to complete it, that they only have chapters 1 and 2 completed, and that they might try to complete chapters 3 and 4. Now, first off, it looks like they are beginning to pull those games down from places like CD Projekt Red's little storefront. I believe it's still available on the Switch, but I've heard it's been pulled from iTunes, PlayStation, and elsewhere, which is a good idea. You shouldn't be selling an incomplete game or a game that will never be completed, obviously. But the question is, what is happening to the money that went for the pre-sales for that game? What about people who bought the season pass for the pre-sale? What about the people who bought Chapter 1 thinking the rest would be there? Are there going to be refunds for that? And if they're never going to complete the game, if there's never going to be a Chapter 5, what's the point of even making Chapter 3 and 4? A lot of people, myself included, say, don't even bother making Chapters 3 and 4. Go ahead and take that money and instead give it to the people that you fired on Friday without severance. That seems like a much better decision. This does just prove, though, that the reason this company shut down is mismanagement, because they're even mismanaging the disabling of the company. I can't believe that they are doing this. It should be very clear that they need to give refunds to as many people as they can. And with any money left over, don't complete a game that you're never going to finish. Give that money to the people that you fired so they have a place to sleep, a place to go until they can find a new job. Now, that's my opinion. I'd love to hear what you think about that in the comments section below, but I have a feeling most of you are going to agree with me unless you purchased The Walking Dead. If you already purchased The Walking Dead final season, then I get it. But not a lot of people did, and that's why the company closed. So, Forza Horizon 4 is finally about to get released this week. It is basically the only exclusive that the Xbox has this fall, if I'm not mistaken. At least one of the only big titles. I did get to play this at E3, and I have to say I was completely blown away. So when you look at these Metascore reviews, 56 critics weighing in, giving it a 92. A 92, you know this is going to be one of the better games of the year. And maybe Xbox is right when they said earlier this year, we don't need Crackdown this year. Maybe this is the exclusive they're going to drive away on, pun intended. But I will say I'm a bit of a fan of the Forza Horizon series. I love open world racing. I've got a review copy and it's downloading right now on my Xbox. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go sit down and play as much of it as I can. I'll let you guys know what I think about it on Twitter and stream and elsewhere. I have to say, though, I hate the base Forza season because it's too realistic and too, I don't know, it's, walled driving and stuff like that. The open gameplay of Forza Horizon is seriously so good. It's so good. So I just wanted to throw that in here and say congratulations, Xbox, on making at least one really good exclusive this year. I wish there was more. Now, speaking of Xbox and PlayStation, here's some really good news for PlayStation owners. You know that PlayStation Now app that you never access on your PlayStation? You might want to consider it now. Pun intended. This was the original Netflix of gaming, and it was overpriced. It was frustrating. It used cloud computing, so you had to have a good internet connection. It still felt a little bit laggy. Sometimes you would drop connections. The original system was imperfect, but now they have made a change. You still can't download PlayStation 3 games to your hard drive and play them there because you would have to emulate it, and they just don't have an emulator that does that yet. But you can now get PlayStation 4 games, download them, and play them just like you can for Game Pass, as well as PlayStation 2 games. You can play those natively on your PlayStation 4 now. So download the games. Once they're downloaded, you can play them to your heart's content. No lag, no controller lag, no dropped connections, no BS. It's a vast improvement on the system. The best news, I think, is the fact that the price dropped considerably. I don't remember how much it was originally, $25-$30. It's still $20 a month if you buy it 1 month at a time. If you get 1 year's access, it's $99. That's a pretty good deal. Honestly, it's a pretty good deal. And this is the reason I love competition. This is why I hope Steam does something like this eventually too. But this is why I love competition, because the Game Pass system for Xbox was so good, then PlayStation had to improve their system. Otherwise, it would have just been another flawed thing that PlayStation tried to do. Unfortunately, competition has made both services amazingly good. And moving into the future of gaming with the next generation of consoles, I expect these to be flagship products and flagship reasons to buy the next generation of consoles. And I can't wait to see the way it looks, because this is great. This is great for budget gamers. And even though I have all the YouTube money in the world, supposedly, I'm still a budget gamer. I pay for these passes, and I download those games, and I play them for free, and I think you should too. So let's talk a little bit about the Nintendo Switch online service, which has some fairly cool features and has some pretty big problems as well. So first off, from now on, if you want to take your Nintendo Switch games online, you want to play Splatoon online, you want to play Ultimate Smash online, then you're going to have to pay for this service. It comes out to $20 a year, which is a fairly decent service price, so I'm not that butthurt about the price. It also includes cloud saves, and that's where we come into one of our biggest problems, though, because not every game is allowed to have cloud saves. They picked and choose which ones are allowed to have cloud saves, and you'll never believe why. Because they're afraid of cheating. I think they're afraid of item duplication or something like that. Seems bizarre to me, but that's what they're afraid of. The game titles infected are Switch 1-2, which just seems completely bizarre to me. The new Pokemon games, which is one we really, really want to have cloud saves for. Splatoon 2, which makes no sense to me. I guess it's because of the items in the game, and a few other games with more, I'm sure, to come. And because they're afraid of cheating, because they're afraid of item duplication, how am I going to cheat in 1-2 Switch? How am I going to cheat in 1-2 Switch? It's the worst game I've ever played. The only cheat I want is a refund. Is there a way to get a refund for that? And when it comes to Pokemon, as frustrating as it is, I guess I kind of see their point. Say you catch a legendary Pokemon, then you go offline, then you trade it using some sort of non-online alternative, and then you update the cloud save and you still have that Pokemon. I get what they're afraid of. I just think there's probably a way to code it to where you can't do that. And why they don't just do that instead? Well, we talked about it at the beginning of this video. The engineers at Nintendo are not that great. They make good games, not good computer code, I guess. Now, the really good news is, along with that $20 a year, you do get access to an emulation service, a Netflix-style service, similar to Game Pass, similar to PlayStation Now, where you can play some NES games. You can even play those online. The two-player games you can play online. I think it's doing score tracking and stuff like that. And most of the games on there, I think there's only 20 games. Most of the games on there are a bit of sleeper hits, like ice hockey, stuff I never really messed with on the NES. But there's some big hitters like the original Legend of Zelda, Super Mario 3, some really good games on there, and hopefully a lot more to come, and hopefully an SNES library as more people subscribe. So if you got the $19 around, if you've got a Switch, if you plan to play Smash Brothers online like I do, hopefully the online service will be good. But I think it's worth the $20 a year just to be able to play those old NES classics, because they still sell those NES classics for $8, $10, $12 on the 3DS, sometimes on the Nintendo Switch. So it's a pretty good service, I think. And that's going to do it for this week's gaming news video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a much more upbeat video this week. I'm super excited because there's a lot of good games out, a lot of good services, a lot of good ways to spend just a little bit of money and get a lot of bang for your buck. The industry is looking better every single day, and I'm so glad to share it with you guys. Do me a favor, check out that link in the description box below to my sponsor, Glasses USA, and just by shopping for some glasses, you help support me, and I really appreciate it. While you're down there, drop a like on this video, hit subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to, get those notification bells so whenever we go live with some hot gaming news or a vlog or something interesting, you can see it as soon as it comes out. Get in that notification club. It really helps me out if you watch that video as quick as you can. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much. And I'll speak with you again soon.